Hello everyone, we are from group 2. Today we want to talking about the Recep Tayyip Erdoğan. So, the group 2 itself consists of Annisa Dewi Cahyaningrum,
My name is Annisa Dewi Cahyaningrum.
Diva Putri Kaloko,
Hello everyone, my name is Diva Putri Kaloko. Thank you.
Inggrid Janna,
Hello everyone, my name is Inggrid Sihaloho.
Larasati,
Hi, my name is Larasati.
Layla Kirana Salsabila,
Hello everyone, my name is Layla Kirana Salsabila.
Raynanda Yasir Abdillah, Riko Nakajima. So, we want to talking about the introduction. We choose to analyze the leadership of Recep Tayyip Erdoğan, the current president of Turkey, because we want to know how did he becomes leaders who have ruled Turkey for many years, and what influence that the way he leads his country, also how he resolve case. The conceptualization of leadership. We choose one of the 6 model of making foreign policy. We use the individual decision-making model, which is a model where many critical decisions are made by individual and usually only concerned on the leader belief and values, which mostly occupied by emotional biases. So the characteristic of leader. Erdogan is very influential in Turkey politics. He is polarizing and popular, authoritative and fatherly, calculating and listless. He is short-tempered, a pugnacious man, but he can also be extremely patient. He also quite active in religious field. He is also very charismatic and assertive, makes people respect him so much. Many people praise him for being a very good and caring person.
Hello, my name is Diva Putri Kaloko and I will explain about Recep Tayyip Erdoğan of life background. He is born in Istanbul, Turkey, 26 February in 1954. Erdogan is a Turkish politician who has served as a president of Turkey since 2014. He grew up in Rize, returned to Istanbul at the age of around 13 in a middle-class family, and he studied at the religious school, Imam Hatip School, which made him a very religious man. He went to Marmara University to study economics and business. Erdogan also attended a meeting of the nationalist student group National Turkish Student Union during his school and university, and within the group, Erdogan was as a known people. Everyone know him is oratorical skill, developing a passion for public speaking, and excelling in front of audience. And that's it from me, and thank you.
Recep Tayyip Erdoğan childhood. As a teenager, Erdogan's father provided him with a weekly allowance of 2.5 Turkish lira, less than $1. With it, Erdogan bought postcards and resold them on the street. He sold bottles of water to drivers stuck in traffic. He also worked as a street vendor selling sesame bread rings, wearing white gown, and selling it from red three-wheel cars. In his youth, Erdogan played semi-professional football at a local club, which taught him the significance of teamwork and spirit in his younger years. A sport club wants him to transfer to the club, but his father prevented it.
Okay, I will explain about Erdogan's political career. In 1976, Erdogan engaged in politics by joining the National Turkish Student Union. In the same year, he became the head of Boyuklu youth branch of the Islamist National Salvation Party, or it's called MSP, and was later promoted to chair of the Istanbul youth branch of the party. In 1983, Erdogan followed into the Islamist Welfare Party. He became the party's Boyuklu district chair in 1984, and in 1985, he became the chair of the Istanbul city branch. Erdogan was elected to become mayor of Istanbul in 25.19% of the popular vote. This is in the local election of the 27th March to 1994. Then, and in 2001, Erdogan founded the Justice and Development Party. In Turkey, it's called AKP, and this party is the largest in Turkey. AKP won 3.4% of the vote in the general election of 2002. Erdogan became prime minister in March 2003. On 2007, the AKP won an important victory over the opposition, makes Erdogan the prime minister for the second time. And then 2011 election, Erdogan governing party won 327 seats, making Erdogan the only prime minister in Turkish history to win 3 consecutive general elections, each time receiving more votes than the previous election. And then in 2014, Erdogan was named the AKP's presidential candidate in Turkish presidential election. Erdogan was elected as a president of Turkey with 51.79% vote, and 2018 Turkey.
I'm going to explain about the leadership style of Erdogan. So, based on the research that has been done by the experienced people in the leadership trait fields, it is found that Erdogan scores high in belief in the ability to control events. This trait means that the leader, or we can say in this case Erdogan, he is subjectively perceived ability to have the desired effect on outcomes in the political environment, and this the leader that have this trait tends to confront issues decisively and sometimes forcefully. And also we can see that Erdogan prefer to take quick or even preemptive action. Some people see Erdogan as an aggressive leader or forceful figure who thrives on confrontation, but other people see Erdogan as a charismatic people and then leader who can inspire the followers. Even others praise him for his independence of action. And President Erdogan has a leading position in decision making and has the final word on most of the policy matters in Turkey.
So now I will explain about Turkey foreign policy under Erdogan. So in Turkey, President has the main authority of foreign policy decision making. So there have been significant change under Erdogan. He strongly focused on national security, and then he also assertive style in policy implementation, a preference for transaction-based relation, and a quest for more strategic autonomy. And then he has so far mainly selected his advisor based on personal trust and loyalty rather than on a merit. A total number of appointed advisor is around 40, and so far and so on. And the next is the ministry and the directorate provide the presidency with practical information. It seems like all decisions are taken within the presidency, where President Erdogan is aided or not by his close circle of advisors. Next, since President Erdogan is also the leader of AKP, and since AKP together with its alliance partner MHP holds the majority in the parliament, in practice there will not be much security by the parliament on foreign policy. AKP is the development party, and then MHP is a nationalist movement party. Since he tends to see only what he wants to see, Erdogan also tends to seek opportunity for cooperative relationship and win-win agreement, particularly in foreign affairs, although he tends to be more peaceable and less confrontational when dealing with like-minded others.
Hello, my name is Diva Kaloko, and I will explain about background of the case Syrian refugees on Turkey. The beginning of the Syrian war occurred in March 2011. Pro-democracy demonstration inspired by the Arab Spring, what began at the start of the Syrian conflict as a peaceful uprising against Syrian president, as we know, Bashar al-Assad. The origin of the Syrian conflict began when riots spread, crackdowns intensive. And second, Turkey is a part of a pattern established during the European migrant crisis, where large groups of immigrants used Turkey as a transit country, including the Syrian war refugees. As we know, the Turkey and European Union borders migrant case. And the third, Turkey holds more than 13.6 million in total in 2019 registered refugees from Syria and provided assistance reaching to 24 billion euro total between 2011 until 2018 with refugee assistance. Turkey remained committed to controlling the flow of refugees, and for Turkey had no choice but to relax border guard because it did not have enough support to accommodate Syrian refugees. And next, Erdogan on Syria refugees matter. Erdogan responded the Turkey president, as we know, Turkey's president Recep Tayyip Erdogan said his country was no longer able to accommodate refugees coming from Syria. He said if the violence against the people of Idlib does not stop, this number will continue to aid. If so, Turkey will not carry the burden of migrants alone, Erdogan said in Istanbul. And he also responded to call for Greece to open its door for migrants. He said, Greece, I appeal to you, open the gates as well, and be free of this burden. Let them go to other European countries in hope that refugees didn't fill up in Turkey only. And he, at the same time, Erdogan will not close Turkey border with Syria because the reason of humanity. He said, we cannot handle the influx of new refugees, but we also cannot allow these people to depend on the Syrian. in Syrian of the President Bashar al-Assad regime, Erdogan said. And this is Erdogan response on the Syrian refugees matter, and thank you for watching.
Okay. We will discuss about Turkey and EU borders. As we know, Turkey have direct border with countries under EU such as Greece and Bulgaria. About 35,000 migrants has made at Turkey's borders with the EU at the end of February 2020. Ankara opened the door for the migrants at the end of February 2020 after 33 of its soldiers were killed in Idlib, northwest Syria. The other aims was from the Syrian Democratic Force, which is considered an extension of Kurdistan Workers' Party. Brussels and Ankara reached an agreement aimed at controlling the number of migrants. The agreement also stated that the EU countries accepted the original refugees from the Turkey in return for illegal immigrants who had reached Europe. Then Erdogan has accused the EU in recent months of a lack of solidarity with his military operation in Syria and claimed that true cost of housing refugees in his country has been close to 40 billion euro. Turkey's president said, until all Turkish expectations, including free movement, updating of the custom union, and financial assistance are tangibly met, we will continue the practice on our borders. Erdogan alluded to footage that was reportedly shot of Greek border after Turkish authorities began allowing migrant free passage toward Europe late February. Erdogan said there's no difference between the image coming from the Greek border and what the Nazis did. He also said the Greeks were acting like legionaries for the West by brutalizing migrants attempting to enter the Europe.
Turkish diaspora. Background of the case. Turkish diaspora is an estimate of the population of Turks around the world who have migrated out of Turkey and formerly Turkish regions or Ottoman. This includes Turkish citizens living abroad, as well as ethnic Turks who have emigrated from other post-Ottoman countries. Especially Turkish communities from the Balkans, the island of Cyprus, the Melkatia region of Georgia, and the Arab world. Due to a significant wave of Turkish migration to Western Europe. At present, Turks from the largest ethnic minority groups in Denmark, Germany, and the Netherlands, and the second largest minority in Austria. The largest Turkish community in Western Europe is in Germany. In addition, some academics also distinguish Turkish-related population, which belong to ethnic minorities from Turkey but don't include a significant population of Turkish ethnic communities from the Balkans, Cyprus, and the Arab world. Erdogan on Turkish diaspora. President Recep Tayyip Erdogan called on the Turkish nationals who live in various European countries to have 5 children. Erdogan told the million of Turkish diaspora that they were the future of Europe. From here, I say to my citizens, my brothers and sisters in Europe, educate your children in a good school, make sure you live in a good environment, have the best car, and have the best house, said Erdogan. Have 5 children, not 3. You are the future of Europe. Erdogan continued in his speech in the city of Eskişehir, south of Istanbul. This is the best answer you can give to the rudeness and hostility shown to you, Erdogan added. Erdogan is the first leader to take the diaspora seriously and show it. Erdogan called on Turkish diaspora as way for European Turks to show their strength to the whole world.
And then for the last case, we take COVID-19. So COVID-19 in Turkey. Background of the case, we know that coronavirus is spread all over the world. Based on WHO, coronavirus disease is firstly start in Wuhan, the capital city of Hubei in China, and then start from Wuhan, there will be spread all over the world. So on 10 January, knowing that the case, Turkey Ministry of Health set up the Coronavirus Scientific Advisory Board. It consists of 26 members, specialists in field. Early February, Turkey decided to stop all flights to and from Iran, Italy, South Korea, Iraq, also close the border with Iran and Iran. So the first case in Turkey was confirmed on 11 March 2020. But since the infection of Turkey, one of Turkey has made Turkey swiftly faced with this case. The spread of the virus is spread throughout all of the area in Turkey. So knowing the case, how Erdogan managed the case, we see the slide. In response to the case of the spread of COVID-19 in Turkey, Erdogan comment. He said, none of our citizens must leave their home or get into contact with anyone unless absolutely necessary until the threat disappears. And he said that our citizens...
So for the conclusion of Erdogan's style to solve cases, from all the cases that we have been researched, there are 4 cases as we have mentioned above. We found out that Erdogan's way to solve cases are mostly similar and affected by his personality traits. The decision that he made is affected by his personality traits. For the Syrian refugees case, Erdogan chose to show act of humanity to the refugees to solve this case. It is shown by his action to keep opening the border of Turkey for the refugees. The solution is of course related with his religious background, which is Muslim, to help each other as a human. And for the second case, which is the borders with EU, Erdogan's way to solve the case is more like harsh diplomatic way, which he shows his aggressive sides to the EU, and he wants to be heard. He wants the EU to fulfill what he want or what he need. And then for the Turkish diaspora case, of course we can see that Erdogan showed his stubbornness in solving this case. He have a high desire to bring Turkey as a powerful country. And then for the last case, which is the COVID-19 in Turkey, we can see that Erdogan preferred to take the preventive measure before this COVID-19 case becomes bigger in Turkey, which comes from the leadership traits that he have, which is high belief in the ability to control events. So the final conclusion is Erdogan once said that for him, democracy is simply a means to accomplish his political goal of making Turkey and the Turks, the citizen, feels great and proud of Turkey. Erdogan also had a defining effect on the foreign policy choices of his government. He tends to confront issues or cases decisively and prefer to take quick or even preemptive actions. But the thing is, Erdogan lacks in diversity of opinions that he get represented in Erdogan's close circle of like-minded advisors. We also can conclude that he tends to solve problems with his individual beliefs and values, which related with the individual decision-making model. Besides his individual influence, we can also see that every decision that made by Erdogan depends on the case that he and his country is facing and other actors that related with this case.
Okay, that's all from us, and I'm sorry for any mistake, and please stay safe.